When you're looking at pricing up irrigation, there's a few problems that do come up. Here in Los Angeles, some yards don't have any irrigation whatsoever. So you need to go and check if there is any pre-existing valves. If there isn't, we have to put a whole new system in. You also want to have a look if there's a pre-existing timer and where that is connected to. It might be in the front of the house, might not be. If it isn't, we have to run cable that goes all that way. Is there concrete that we have to go under? You need to have a look at the yard, how large it is, how many valves are going to be coming off it, and what type of irrigation is best. We genuinely keep to drip irrigation only. Once in a while, you will come across where we just need to have one line going to a tree. Make sure there's pre-existing irrigation for us to draw off, otherwise it's a whole entire new system. Now, let's break down the actual irrigation packages. To start off with, this is 3/4 inch poly tubing, okay? So this is the stuff you're going to be running around the actual yard itself, from the valve, and then going around next to all the trees and the bushes and everything from there. From there, you'll actually draw off from that 3/4 inch tubing with another little black spaghetti line called 1/4 inch tubing with an emitter. So there are two types of poly tubing, 3/4 inch. This one, you'll see it does not have any perforated holes. Okay, this you draw straight off with a 3/4 inch, with a 1/4 inch spaghetti tubing. This one you can use if there's a bunch of bushes that are close together. It's perforated. You see the little holes? We can get those holes even closer or farther apart. It's actually great for water conservation here in California. So, what goes on to the actual 3/4 inch tubing is this 1/4 inch spaghetti, as it's known. Now, when we install this, a good way of doing it is you actually have this connected into the spaghetti that then is punctured into this. You just rip off the emitter head. And then you have the emitter on the top, on the last bit. That way, if it fails on the end, it's not just going to completely bleed out. You'll see two different ways of doing this. This is an emitter. Now there is also ones that come with a little adjustable head. We don't have them right here at this very moment, but you literally just plug these into the tube itself, and then the water will come out on the other end. So once again, you want to make sure that the actual yard has a system already set up. Okay, we will replace the valves if we need to. So this is a siphon valve. Okay, we'll generally put 2 in. And this is a pressure regulator to stop the water pressure blowing it back and actually ruining everything. And just to finish all this up, so we have some couplers, we have some parts that join up all the tubing together, so it looks a little bit like this. Once in a while, we'll have a PVC tubing if we need to go underneath any pavement or anything like that. Please note, it is a lot of work to go under pavement, and that's even if we can. So there is an extra charge for that, and you need to make sure your customers are fully aware of this, and you need to take that into account. Because we're coming to an area like this, we can't magically go over the top. We have to dig underneath it. It does take many hours. When determining if there's pre-existing irrigation, have a look around the yard. This is a sprinkler head for a lawn. Okay, it will be connected over here. They've used some PVC. So there is pre-existing irrigation, but you also want to check the valves and how many there are. So if we come over to this area, this is where the valves are. You can see there's a 4-stage valve here. It's not the cleanest look, but it is pre-existing, so we can work off this. It means the main system is already there. So let's have a look at one of the pre-existing irrigation lines. As you can see, it comes out from the PVC and goes in the 3/4 inch tubing, which is then going into here. Comes up, and then just down here, you can also see the spaghetti tubing, the 1/4 inch come off, and this is what an adjustable emitter looks like. So you can actually change that depending on how much you want to come out. And that would be on a whole different valve. Now, there is also going to be a timer. So timers look very different these days. This is a Wi-Fi timer, okay? So it's going to be connected by an app. A lot of the other ones, you can manually move them and everything like that. You can tell this hasn't been professionally installed because the wires are hanging everywhere. And then you can see this is a 2-stage valve set, most likely here in the backyard. One of them does all the plants, and then the other one does the lawn, and that's quite common. Once in a while, they will cross over, and when that happens, it is a fair bit of extra work to uncross them and to setting new lines and everything like that. So with this irrigation system here, although they did have pre-existing valves, we still actually raised it up and then got brand new valves in there as well. So that way in a couple of years time it's not going to break, because the actual internal parts of the irrigation is still made of plastic and can still break down over time. So we fix it right up.